Shut up.
What is happening, friends of CCP Podcasting? Welcome to Beyond the Bell Live. I am Chris Page, and I'm being joined tonight by my man, JB from No Game Unturned. Sir, how are you, man? What's going on?
I'm doing good. It's Monday night. I'm always excited for some wrestling. Now, we're doing it a little different tonight, but I'm still very excited about it because I love doing things live.
I know, man. What would usually be a watch party on a Monday night, man. We are definitely going beyond the bell, and we got a great show for you guys tonight. Fantastic conversation incoming. But, JB, before we get there, man, I got a couple of announcements that we need to make. First and foremost, man, Chapter 3, Good Vibrations, was a fantastic show in Southern California last Saturday night, or actually coming up 2 weeks ago Saturday. We come up on the weekend. Fun fact, the editing is officially finished, and the show is going to premiere Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time on our YouTube platform. What a show this turned out to be. 9 big matches from our friends, featuring our friends from Millennium Pro Wrestling and Primal Pro Wrestling out of Los Angeles, California, and San Diego, to be exact. And what a weekend Dallas Dash had out in Southern California. He went out and made a statement, brother, and it was fantastic. We are definitely going to stream our reactions to the fully produced show Friday night right here on Twitch, and as it definitely airs on YouTube. But JB, that's not all, man. We're already on the road, if you will, to Chapter 4. It is Legends Rise. We are going to crown our inaugural heavyweight champion in a one-night, 8-person tournament, and the card is already just loaded with talent here on the independent scene in Florida. First round match, GMJ, Matthew Ennis. It is definitely going to be a thing. The winner shall advance on to later on that evening for round number 2, if you will. And for all of us, I know that we're all hoping that GMJ pulls that dub and sends Ennis packing. Also happening, a first round match. The landscape changed, JB. Yasin Khan from Primal Pro, the current Primal Pro heavyweight champion, is going to be in Orlando, Florida. He will be a part of our tournament. He qualified at Chapter 3. His first round match, Kid Kuda. Kuda's got a big battle there when it comes to Khan. And another first round match, our friends from the great state of Georgia, Skrilla the Great. First round, getting into the ring with Dallas Dash. And if you can deduce logic, you know that Slade Porter and Baracco is the last announcement for the first round that needs to be made. But we're not stopping there, man. We've also got some other contests on deck, making their CCP Podcasting Live event debut. Lamaria, TJ Brady, and Damien. They were supposed to be a part of Chapter 1. Things happened, and they weren't able to get there, so we have got them back at Chapter 4. They're taking on Donovan Rose and Shane Evans. It's going to be a first-time situation here for those cats. And JB, one that I know that you've got your eye on, one that you've given me a lot of shit about. 6-man tag team action. Caius from Community Wrestling in Texas is bringing out the South Texas Killers, and they're going to take on the Dojo Hunters as well as Chris Marvelous. Now, the South Texas Killers and all of the opposing team, the Dojo Hunters and Chris Marvelous, making their CCB Podcasting Live event debut. And if that wasn't enough, how about this for the first time ever? You talk about 2 guys that are going to be signed in the next 3 to 5. Look no further than the Radiant Sun, Jake Redondo, and Devious Cass, one-on-one for the first time. It will happen on the 25th. And that's not all. Our friends at the establishment are going to be putting up the anti-establishment championship. It is going to be on the line. Elias Roman taking on Noah Vale. JB. Big things happening here. Massive card coming. It's going to be a show, and history shall be made. Give me your thoughts, man. What are you thinking?
I'm excited about this show. I mean, I think if you're going to have a big show like this, a championships style show where champion is finally crowned, you got to go with a 4. I mean, woo! You got to get out that Chapter 4 going. But I mean, this is going to be an incredible show. It's going to be tough to match Chapter 3 because Chapter 3 was an awesome show. But I think they can do it. I think Chapter 4's got the talent. They can do it.
And, and that's not all, guys. Tickets are on sale for that at ccbpodcasting.com, as well as Chapter 5, which is just a couple of weeks later. We're going to be partnering up. I may be able to talk tonight. partnering up with One Division Pro for our first collab show with them. I announced when we came on the air from the National Wrestling Alliance, the former national champion and television's champion. He's big. He is strong. He is Mims. Will be making his CCB podcasting live event debut in Orlando, Florida. So you definitely want to be there for that as well. And tickets are also on sale at ccbpodcasting.com. Shout out to everybody that's joining us across Twitch, over on X and YouTube. We see you. I see you, Goth. I see you, Shannon. I see you, Shannon times two. Alvo, I see you. We hope you guys are having a fantastic evening. Daniel Aerosmith from the UK, brother. How are you, man? I hope you're doing well. We've got a fantastic show, great conversation incoming, and I had for me, I had an opportunity to see this guy live several months ago. And JB, you'll remember the show. Do you remember that wild street fight that I filmed with? It was just all over the place. Same card. He was on this. He was on this card. He was taking on DMC on this particular show. And it was the first time that I had seen him live, and he made an impact. He made an impact with me, and I started following him after I saw him on that show, and I've kind of watched from a distance. We've had an opportunity to kind of pass some DMs back and forth and see what we can do about getting this man out here and get him noticed, not only in Florida on the Florida scene, but all over the world, because the dude has just got his shit together, and I can't wait to sit down and pick his brain and just hear his journey thus far. I know that you're going to have a good time with it as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Beyond the Bell Live. He is the Infinite Man, Mr. T.I.M. How are you, sir? Welcome to Beyond the Bell Live. Oh no, we froze.
How are you, gentlemen?
Oh, we're doing well, man. You froze for a second. I was like, oh, we got a mid palm. You're good now. How are you, brother? You doing okay?
Yes, sir. I'm doing well.
I can't wait to
doing very well.
Can't wait to sit down and pick your brain and talk and just get to know a little bit more about you. The first thing for me off rip is these conversations it's an education. It's a way for me to get to know a lot more about you, for you to get to know a lot more about us as well, and our audience, and just to connect. And I tell guys all the time, I have a different perspective. I was in the ring 20 years ago. I had a 5 or 6 year run from 99 to 06. So I see this thing from both sides of the script. I see it from the performer side, and also see it from the fan side, and it kind of just lets me get a little deeper look into you and what makes you tick. But before we get into the conversation, JB, welcome, the Infinite Man.
It is awesome to have you here. I don't know if you want to be referred to as the Infinite Man or Tim, or if you have another designation, that works for you, but it's great to have you here.
For the conversation, Tim is fine.
Well,
thank you for having me, truly.
Well, let's dive straight in, man. Let's see what we got going on here. For me, where I start our conversations is at the top, and it's not necessarily, when did you get into wrestling? It's what drew you in. What the world of wrestling is crazy to begin with, but what drew you in as a fan? What made you connect? What was going on TV? Or some guys get into it through video games. Man, I don't know. That's where I want to start there. Let me know how you fall in love with wrestling.
I fell in love with wrestling at the age of 4. My grandfather got me into it. He's still a big fan to this day. Seeing him be a very strong, very astute man, and to himself, being around him, seeing him be joyous, being that little kid when he's seeing wrestling, he's pointing and yelling at the TV, talking to me, and just having real conversations. And I'm seeing the kid that I wouldn't see outside of anything else when it comes to wrestling. So I fell in love with that connection I had with my grandfather. And as I got older, I'd watch it by myself. It was one particular match. It was Lord William Regal versus Davey Boy Smith for the television title, WCW Halloween Havoc.
Yes, sir.
The finish of that match blew my mind. I was on every move, every kick, every punch, and I didn't know anything about technical wrestling. I just knew what they were doing. It grabbed me. And when Davey Boy didn't win that championship, I threw a fit. My mom had to calm me down. She's like, "What's wrong with you? What is with you. I was like, he cheated, he cheated. And it was like that right there, that what sealed the deal for me. It's like, I want to bring that emotion, not just to in the ring, it was just in life in general. So, to the credit and patience of a lot of teachers and my mom, my cousins, I made moments with wrestling moves and things I'd say and the crotch chop and all these things that brought about with wrestling. It was a big journey, but I'd say my grandfather was the big tipping point for me.
You know what's wild about that is I don't ever know like when I connect or how I connect with people when I have these conversations, but throughout the course of the last 2 years, I fell in love with wrestling through my great grandmother. And it was a very similar situation. She was 86. I have now asked questions. And I walked in on her waving her cane at the TV, yelling at Ric Flair, who was kicking the shit out of Dusty Rhodes at the time. Couldn't tell you what was on the TV, right? Because I was young. I was like 5. I know that I saw my 85-year-old grandmother, 86-year-old grandmother, like literally swinging her cane, and that was how I connected professional wrestling, and how I fell in love with it after the fact. And it's crazy that you fall in love with it with your granddad, and seeing that how that transitions and plays out. When you obviously fall in love, your fandom obviously never died. When did you start really starting to consider that this is something that you want to do? Like you really want to get into this thing.
Since I since that match with Davey Boy Smith, it was I'm going to do this.
There's no looking back.
It was that moment right there. No, my mom, she always supported me. She said, as long as you had a plan B or backup plan. But I was like, Mom, there's no backup plan for this. I'm doing this.
It's all or
So
nothing.
it was never, yeah. It's like I had to realize I had to be insane to go through all this. It's like friends, family, peers, teachers, principals. It's like you name it. It was like it was always a question of why, or that's not very logical or not sensible, especially during a time where, respectfully, someone like me wasn't really on TV that's showing that you can do this. So I can understand the questioning, but it was something already made up in my mind. I'm doing this. So I do wrestling moves in elementary school, getting suspended. Uh, Thankfully, I found a school that was doing wrestling programs. Wasn't professional wrestling, it was amateur wrestling,
Yeah.
but it was close enough for me. It had wrestling in it. So I learned as much as I could in elementary. Then when I got in high school, Millbrook High in Raleigh, North Carolina, I was wrestling on the wrestling team. And my freshman year, I sucked. I sucked so bad because I'm thinking, oh, I can now do what I seen on TV and put it right here on the mat. No, not at all. I'm getting rolled up. I'm getting points taken away because I'm trying to F5 people. I'm trying to do the Olympic slam. I damn near had someone in the pedigree once, but they called injury on me for that.
Oh,
But it was something I had to, yeah, yeah, come
who
on.
does that?
But people that care, I guess. Ooh. No, but honestly, it was something that I had to learn. It was if you learn the basics first and you're willing to be the fool in this, you can master it. So once I realized that, I shut up and I listened to my coaches and things turned around. Until 10th grade, I got an ego and I let my grades slip and I got kicked off the team because I had an English teacher that didn't care about none of that. You're like, oh, you're undefeated? That's cool. Well, this F says you're off. I was like, huh, ooh.
Reality.
Yeah, super kicked me dead in the face.
Well,
But it was a humbling experience I had to go through.
well, I understand that, man. Like
And
it's rough when you so again, I had the wrestling coach that was my neighbor when I was a kid and didn't know it. So when I pulled the whole, I want to be a professional wrestler, my dad went over to his front door and rung the doorbell. And keep in mind, I was probably elementary school, maybe middle school at that point. So when you get to high school, come and join the wrestling team. No problem. I'll be there. Got up to ninth grade, went and joined the wrestling team, walked in day one. I looked at the coach. I said, "Where's the ring?" He said, "This isn't professional wrestling." I said, "Well, I'm out of here. I'm gone. That's not what I signed up for. Not at all." JV, let me come around to you with a little bit of what you got for what we've heard already thus far.
I mean, I'm feeling like we're going down my story at this point because I mean, I got into wrestling because of my grandfather, and we would be, if we weren't out working in the garden, we'd be watching wrestling. Of course, for me, it was a little bit older. You got Hogan, Andre, the Macho Man, stuff like that. But that's how I kind of got into it. And then I also joined the wrestling team, the amateur wrestling team, and was a little surprised by how different it was, and that I couldn't have finishers, but I did adopt the cow catcher. Because I said, "Oh, that one has a name. I can do that one." Yank people over. So that took me all the way to the city finals. But that I think when you have that family connection, I think it really family brings you into it, and you just have a tighter love for wrestling, and I think that pushes you forward.
You kind of have a support system built in right there, and that is a big piece of what a lot of guys don't see now is if you don't have a support system that is built in that you can rely on, this industry is tough. It is very tough, and it is very demanding, and you give
up. I want to take a time out and thank.
Go ahead.
Excuse me, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're
but
fine.
You saying that, I want to thank my support system. Is like starting out in the wrestling business. I didn't think I had one. It's like I chose to do all the things I read in books and stories, thinking I had to go through that. It was like choosing to be homeless, choosing to sleep in my car when I literally had family members 20 minutes from me that would let me sleep and get myself together. But I'm thinking I had to go through this path.
Mm-hmm.
And being 12 years in the business now, I'm seeing there's a lot of people that didn't have the support system I have. There's a lot of people that's going off of just trauma and having just themselves. So for my support system, thank you, truly. And to those who don't have one at the moment, my heart goes out to you, and may the universe give you one soon.
Well, I tell everybody we are a safe space. So if anybody's out there that's watching, that's listening, and maybe you're going through some shit, or maybe you're dealing with something, you need an outlet, and just hit me up, man. I tell everybody that. Like, my story is a little different. I got out of professional wrestling because I fell into the dark side, and I got into drugs and alcohol, and at a very young age, and I had an overdose. And I woke up, I had 4 people that was traveling with me. I woke up by myself. So I get it. I understand. And I had to hit rock bottom. This is where shit gets real, man. And I'm just going to be honest. Like, I've been there. I've slept in my car. I have done what I had to do to get myself into a better situation. And it was not easy. However, like I tell guys today, I wouldn't trade any of it for the world, because it has made me who I am today, and it has made what we are doing today real and legitimate. And I think that's why we've been so successful, is because you can go and talk to anybody. But I guarantee you this, Tim, when you leave this conversation with me, it's not the end of our road. I will stay in touch. We'll stay in touch with you. We keep up with you because we give a shit about you. We care. It's not everybody does. And it's sad that we live in that world, and that we live in. It's crazy that we live in the world we live in now. Anyway, don't get me fucking started on that. But it's just one of those situations that we just see things from a different angle and a different perspective, and truly, we don't have any of this without you guys. We don't have anything without the companies that are out there. We don't have anything without you. So we have to be there. It's almost like it's not an obligation. It's just the right fucking thing to do. is to utilize everything that we've been able to build to help. So we're not doing that, then why the fuck are we here? That's what I ask myself. Why are we here if we're not here to help? And that comes with support, and that comes with being there, just being there. And I know that has absolutely nothing to do with what we were talking about, guys. I get one rant a show. I just used it. So ultimately, if you're out there and you need some help, man, reach out. That's the name of the game. When you, Tim, decide to branch out and get into training, what's that road look like for you? Did you already scout this stuff out? Did you already have a track, or was this one of those I'm going to find a spot and we're going?
Universally enough, when I was still wrestling in high school, I met a wrestler named Otto Schwanz. He wrestled in WWE, WCW, TNA, as well as the Dumps. He was actually a coach down, believe Burlington at the time. He was just there for a tournament, and I remember him because I watched him on TV one night, and I was kind of hesitant because he's a big dude, and I was like, "Hey, I don't. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Are you Otto Schwanz?" And he's like, yeah, it's me. I was like, I'm wrestling, obviously. I was wondering, how do you get into professional wrestling? He pulled out a card, business card, and had CWF. Did some background stuff on them. At the time, it was too far from me. So I did some more research. Actually, my girlfriend at the time, she kind of gave me the ultimatum. I was bouncing up around after high school, of course, and around age 25, she had said, "Hey, you're 25. Let's try to do this. If 27, you don't really get into training, we got to kind of give up the goal." And wasn't really offended. I was like, that's logical. So I start searching harder, and then I found a space called Gouge Wrestling, down in Raleigh, North Carolina. Gouge is gimmicks only underground grappling entertainment. Yes, I remembered it.
That is a long
But
acronym, bro.
man, ain't it? It's North Carolina's version of Chikara. When if you and you remember that illustrious promotion, where it had gimmicks, it had cowboys, it had gymnasts. Me at the time, had clowns, had geeks with physiques, and actually that man Seymour Snot, he's the one who trained me. I met him down there after the show, and I was like, "Hey, trying to get in the wrestling business. How would I go about it?" And he was like, "Well, you can watch my gimmick table for starts." I was like, "Okay." So after that, I would just get on the road with him. And the craziest thing, Gouge was literally 10 minutes from my house. It's like from high school to 25, I'm searching and looking, and I'm thinking it's far away because at this time, I'm thinking Independence is really a Ring of Honor, stuff up in PA, just up north stuff. So when I find out there's a wrestling company 10 minutes from my house, I get so mad. And I was like, I could have been doing this. But now I realize it happened when it needed to happen. So once I got the training with him, I'm just driving in cars with him, listening, learning. And I say after 6 months of training, I had my first match, February 22nd. Yeah, against Seymour Snot in Fuquay Arena in a flea market. It was very cold. We're wrestling, we're going out about this, and I have him down on the mat. I'm on the second rope. I'm going for a moonsault. As I'm jumping for a moonsault in midair, I'm thinking, damn, he didn't train me how to take this. He moves out the way. I land flat completely on my face.
Ouch.
No, good job. He kicks me. It's with an X Factor. 1, 2, 3. I'm hurt, but the 4-year-old kid is just smiling and yelling and screaming and jumping like you did it. You're doing it. You're a professional wrestler. And it's no longer thinking like, oh, I'm chasing to do this. I am that. The moment I had that match, I accomplished my dream.
Isn't it funny how sometimes it's
So
the smallest
everything
things?
now is just building upon that.
I
Sorry.
apologize. I didn't mean to step on you, brother. I thought you were through because you had stopped for a second, and I think there's a little bitty delay between us, but it's okay. We will work through it and sort through it. No problem. I think
Yeah.
it's interesting how all that works out. And like for me, were you nervous when you decided to make your debut or 6 months in? Like, what was going through your mind when that transpired? Because I can't speak for anybody else. I can only speak for self. When I had my debut, I was scared shitless until the fucking bell rang. And when the bell rang, it was like everything went away. All the nerves went away. Everything that I was so concerned about because I have to do it all perfect. It just all went away, and it was a terrible match. Don't get me wrong; it was god awful, but I wasn't nervous about it. What would that look like for you when you were walking that aisle for the first time, or you're getting ready to? And did the nerves go away, or were you nervous at all?
Honestly say I was just more excited because my body was prepared for this longer before I even saw it. It's like as a kid, I'm practicing entrances, I'm practicing the promos, I'm practicing talking to people, random people I don't know, not in my family, because I know one day I'm going to be doing this. I remember my mom taking me to an acting class to try to get on commercials or things like that. And when the camera hit me, I just froze up. I had all this jubilance, I had all this action when the camera was off, but when it was important and it was time to, I couldn't. And, and it was one of those moments where I was like, if I ever get that chance again, I'm not going to be that. So when I went out, my mom was there, my grandma was there, my sisters were there. All the people that saw me manifest this. So there was more no. It was just I'm ready to show that it wasn't for nothing. I'm ready to show my mom, my grandma, my sisters, all all the stuff I put them through with me trying to be this, not even trying me doing this leading up to that first match. It wasn't going to be in vain. So it was no nerves. It was just I say now my power is activated.
I love that mentality, dude. I truly do. Yeah. There's a big appreciation for that. And you said something that I do want to touch on. And JB, I'll come around to you, my man. Manifestation. And I see a lot of that. I'm a big manifester. I believe that if we put it out there into the universe, it will happen. You've got to believe it, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in everything that comes along with it. How long has that been a thing for you? How long have you been working the manifestation route? Because I don't know if I've talked to a whole lot of people outside of Mark Haskins who openly talked about how he manifests his career and what he does. How big is that for you?
I say it's very, really big. I was doing it as a kid, unbeknownst to me, but during the quarantine, it really hit me how much I manifest and how much I can manifest. Um, at the time, I was a little more thicker than I am now. I was around 260, 270. Uh, before the quarantine, I didn't know I was doing this. I was using my trauma to push my wrestling. So when the quarantine stopped everything and I had no excuses to run, I didn't have any excuses to hide, I realized I didn't know who Timothy Bumpers was. I knew who Timmy Lou Retton was, the person I created. I knew I put all my attention into wrestling. I realized when wrestling stopped, I had nothing out of this as I thought. I had no real social skills. I didn't have real emotional intelligence. I didn't know how to stand up for myself in the right times. Uh, and a lot of that unfolded and bled out into my wrestling. So when the universe removed everything that was no longer serving me, I really had to sit back and question, how did I show up to where that happened? Because a lot of people, me included, wasn't taking accountability for things. And when during a tag team I had, that didn't work out the way it wanted to. At the same time, the relationship I had wasn't fizzling out because I stopped showing up. There was a big wrestling tournament supposed to be in China, the OWE tournament. And me and my tag partner at the time had put a lot into it. And to me, this was like the first real big thing I felt that was going to happen, that we put all our ducks in a row, but at the same time, we was being braggadocious about it and being damn near mean. It's like, yeah, this is going to happen. We already know. And then when it didn't happen, it crushed me. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how to kayfabe that. So when I stopped showing up the way I normally did, I can see how my tag partner changed. I can see how my girlfriend at the time no longer believed in me because I didn't believe in me at that time. So when everything unraveled, I just screamed at the universe, please remove everything that's no longer serving me. So at the same time, those two valuable people, were removed, and I had to question and wonder, what did I do? So that went on a big dark journey of understanding that. And I can say that's been more painful than any bump I ever took in wrestling. Like taking accountability for my choices. My choices. No one put a gun to my head. No one said, you don't do this. It's something that I had to live with. It's like a lot of things that wrestling has showed me. It was, if you're not vulnerable and if you're not okay here, nothing else is going to work. I don't care how good of a wrestler you can be on the outside of that. If people don't feel safe around you, if people don't like your character, you can have 5-star matches. If your energy is off, everything else is going to be off. So I had to eat a lot of shit that I made for myself. But at the end, I'm thankful that I did, because I'm on the other side of it and I'm doing the work to where I can look back, I can see things, I can see why, I can see different perspectives to where I no longer hold attachments to my lessons that I had to learn. Because again, the universe booked all of it. So I can't get mad that I chose to do this and I chose to be a wrestler. So anything that comes with it, I have to be my best self from it.
Well, let me say this, and then JB, I'm gonna circle around to you. I don't know what exactly you went through. I don't know where the road took you. What I do know is that we have two options. We can either be defeated by it, or we can overcome it. And you decided to overcome it, and it's not easy, especially in the world of professional wrestling. You said something that is, but if you don't have it here, everything else is going to be off, and that is 1000% true. We all have journeys that we've gone through, and they've all turned us into who we are today. So you overcame, and you conquered, regardless of what the situation was, and regardless of what decisions you had to make at the time. And I will also say this: if one person is judged by their worst moment or their worst decision, then we all are judged by that worst moment and that worst decision. And I can't speak for anybody else, but I don't want to be judged by mine. I would rather learn from it, and I would rather move on from it, and I would rather try and steer other people from making the same mistakes. And that's the name of the game. If you're not that kind of person, you're not that kind of human, then I probably don't want you in my life, and I don't want to be around you. As I've been around the negativity, I've been around the bullshit, I've been around the drama, and I prefer to live in peace, and I prefer to have that inner peace. And if that does mean that we have to make hard decisions, then we have to make hard decisions, because you only live one life and it's yours. And it's what you make it. I was having a conversation this weekend with some talents because they were talking about levels of success. And I overheard, and I turned and I was like, one of them was talking about how to them, success was being able to get a couple of shots with AEW or WWE on Dark, or, whatever. And I was like, well, is that the real meaning of success? If that is to you, because they were asking me, what do you think about it? And I was like, well, if you think that is success to you, who am I to tell you it's not? If that is what you deem as successful, then brother, you're as successful as you want to be and how you want to be. To me, success is measured by the individual, and it's measured by what you choose is successful and what's not. Nobody can tell you otherwise. Sorry, I just went on a second rant, guys. You got two. JB, let me come around to you, my man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to charge you for that. The first one's free, but after that,
thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I appreciate it, guys.
But I do want to say, anything positive, any silver lining that can come out of that pandemic time is worth cherishing. So yeah, I do respect that. And when you came out after the pandemic, when wrestling started again, did you feel like maybe you had a better head for it? You were enjoying it more? Because I know after that, I'm not sure how long after the pandemic you were in the Super 8 tournament. You were having the tag team championships. You were winning a lot of titles. So I mean, did you just sort of feel like things had gotten that much better, that it was showcasing in your wrestling matches?
I would say after the quarantine, it was just more so me helping. I really people that I really wanted to help. And through wrestling, that was essentially, wrestling is my love language. My way to return favors, how to show my gratitude. So if I can help you see how good you really are in this, then that's atonement. It's like, I love seeing the face on people when they get to be able to be safe to say, hey, I want to do this. And someone doesn't say, no, I don't want to do that. Yeah, let's do that. Like, what? Yeah, this ain't that type of match. Come on. What do you want to do? And just see the kid in their eyes just light up, seeing 40, 50, damn near old men and women light up and be a kid in a space where sometimes it feels like a job. Sometimes it feels like a task. It's like, oh man, I got to drive 5 hours up here and I'm not getting what I really want. Who am I wrestling? Tim. That right there, that's my payoff. Mm-hmm. And then after the match, seeing them elated, seeing them happy, seeing that they can do this, and knowing that they can do this with somebody else, not just me. I can do what I need to do, but I can go off and then I can just watch and see them blossom. I got goosebumps right now thinking about it. So when those accolades started happening, I was happy about it, but it was more so the moments I was able to create with it.
Let me ask you this: as you're talking about creating moments and making the moments and helping along the way, let me circle back around, because there is something I do want to touch on, and that is really the presentation. How do you come up with the Infinite Man, Tim? How do you come up with it? Obviously, your name is Tim, and the acronym, the Infinite Man, Tim. I get that. What how do you draw this together, and how do you put together the presentation that we do see out there wherever we're consuming product right now?
Well, first and foremost, I got it from Monty Brown, the alpha male.
God, thank you for mentioning his name. He is so fucking underrated.
Huge fan of him. Like, he never got the flowers he deserved.
100%.
And that was my tribute to him. at first I was going to choose the infinite male, but I didn't want it to be too much like him.
Mm-hmm.
So I just put the infinite man. And at first I was doing infinite Timmy Lou Retton when I was before the pandemic happened. But as I started to break down things, it was infinite is just different versions of yourself. And being in this business, I've survived many versions of myself. So I felt like it was only right to just transition into that. And it just helps the conversation more. Hey, Tim. Hello.
Let me ask you this.
It rolls off the tongue more. It's like Timmy Lou Retton, I appreciated the creativity of it because it paid tribute to a great gymnast, uh, and a lot of the mature crowd got the name, and it helped me get a lot of bookings with the name. But I had to understand that I wanted to be something more than an overall gimmick. Not to say that gimmicks aren't bad. I mean, aren't good. There's great gimmicks in wrestling, but for me, my point of view, I just wanted to be more taken seriously in certain aspects because I was in a tag team to where we did a lot of goofy stuff. I got all of the character development I wanted with that. So I just want to transition to something more serious.
Let me come over to our chat real quick, Tim, because there are some folks that are dropping a dream match, and let me get your comments on this. From two different people, by the way. Cool Rocket over on Twitch says CCPE podcasting. Can we manifest the Infinite Man Tim versus Ricochet in a dream match series? And there's another individual who has basically said the same thing. I hope I pronounced your name correctly over on X. Kylie Myers. Can we get Tim the Infinite Man versus Ricochet in a dream match series? Sounds like some people want to see you and Ricochet hooking it up in singles action. What are your thoughts on that?
It'd be an honor to create with Ricochet. Him being really one of the OGs on the indies to show that style on a national level, not just in WWE, but in AEW. It was a great thing to see him manifest from long, straight hair to the bald head. Now he's lived different versions of himself. He's seen the highs, the lows, but no matter what, his talent has shined through. So it'd be a complete honor.
I had to bring it up because more than one person dropped the name, and I needed to know from your perspective. I figured that would be a no brainer, and that is a fucking clip right there, guys. JB, let me come around to you, man. What do you got?
I'm going to say Ricochet's going against Leon Slater, another of our favorites here on the channel
Sure.
at the WrestleCon events at the Hitchcock Memorial show. And I was like, okay, next year, Ricochet versus Tim. Let's get that arranged. But I mean, your wrestling has been great. You've also had some experience in other sides of the sport. I know you've been a wrestling coach. How's it kind of been transitioning a little bit from, you're working on your career to also working on other people and helping them continue to progress in the sport?
It's been really cool. I tell a lot of kids, wrestling is a video game. We're the creative players that we created in those video games, and we put it in real life. And the wrestling promoters are the ones who had the gaming systems and put it in the real life. So seeing kids, I'm saying kids. No, I'm over there, so I can say kids. Seeing kids be in those positions where I was and not trying to say, do it like this. It's just allowing them to be. And it's like, hey, I see you do this. I get your perspective. Maybe go about this way. Take it or leave it. Love you. And have no emotional attachment to it because you really shouldn't. It's like we're all doing the exact same thing, just in different lanes and different stages of our lives. So may they be first 2 years in, 5 years, or a vet like me, or even higher. It's like I just love seeing people be their best selves in this because that's what we all want. It's like we waited so long to be in this, and now we find a group of people who have the same mind, the same love as us. May not be the same intentions, but it's if you break it all down, it's the same love that we all had, no matter what age you started. So long as we help that and we push that, hey, do what you need to do.
Well, let me ask you this too, because you've been doing this now for 14 years. You have seen and done a lot. What are some of, if you had to give any kind of advice to anybody, like, somebody from your teachable moments that have come across your career path, what would they be? What are some of those? What is some of that advice that you'd give people out there?
Uh, well, 12 years, just 12 years in the business.
12. My bad.
Hoping for 14. No, they're good. Universe willing. I'm pretty sure a lot of people get told this a lot, but literally have fun. It's like we've waited so long to do this. You've been told all your life this isn't going to work. You need to do something different. And it's only based off of projection for people who are scared to try or who failed and didn't try again their dreams. The universe has something for all of us in this business. Whatever it is, she booked it. So show up as your best self doing so, realizing the booking is the booking. You accept the booking, that's what it is. The only way you can do that is show up as your best self. Um, it really is important to find people that are happy for you in this. You don't want to be around people who think this is a competition. Be around people to where if you share something, it's not bragging. You're merely sharing an accomplishment among people who are doing the exact same thing as you. Because the one thing as heartbreaking, if you allow it to be, is telling people your dreams and showing your accolades, and they can't be happy for you because they're not happy for themselves.
That's
So find those people that will fight for you in rooms that you're not in. Make sure you're journaling, write things down. We have everything up here. You can't figure everything out like that. It's like me saying, hey, in my head, I can do a 450, but if I'm not practicing it, I'm going to hurt myself and the person that's trusting me to do that. So you have to write things down to not also get it out of your head, but to manifest it. Like we are really the creators of this world. The universe gave us all specific talents, specific powers. Otherwise, we would not be here. Everyone's here for a reason. So if you found it early, congratulations. Run towards it. Well, not run towards it, just walk into it because you agreed to do so. If you haven't found it yet, continue to live. It'll all make sense.
patience is a big thing, man. um, I say that because I never thought that I'd get back into professional wrestling when I left. Thought I was done with it. I had left a really bad taste in my mouth. And then this platform came about. And this platform came about because I was working with a couple other cats, and wanted to change direction, and I brought up independent wrestling, and they said I was stupid and that was not going to work. And I said, hold my beer. And fast forward 2 years later, we're doing really well for ourselves, and it's not. I don't attribute it to anything other than all of us just being genuine and honest. about why we're here and what we're trying to do. And I put a post out on a platform. I'm really thankful for the crew that we've been able to put together here, like JB and Goth is over in the Netherlands. I've got a couple of guys in the UK. I've got a guy in Australia. I've got a guy in South America. I've got several people in California. Like, we're building this thing because of all of you. I personally don't think that the industry is set up for everyone to succeed. And our live events are built to put that spotlight on people that we think deserve it. And I'll tell you, like I tell anybody that comes into any guy, that piece of talent that we work with or comes into our live events, I meet with everybody before the show. And the first thing I say is, I don't give a fuck how many people come through the door, because I genuinely don't. My audience that I'm catering to is around the world. I'm catering to those promoters and those owners who are watching what we're doing, because they know that we're spotlighting guys that, and girls, not just guys and girls, talent that want this and that truly believe in what they're doing. And I mean that wholeheartedly. We have lost so much money on live events. Ask me if I care, because I don't. That's materialistic. That comes and goes. Guess what? I'll have more in 2 weeks. That's just the way it is. I would much rather utilize what we've got to make the space a better place. And you said something earlier about representation. And I'm not going to let that just slide to the side, because I'm a very firm believer that representation is not 100% across the board. I had this conversation with Gia Scott 2 weeks ago. And while people may look at me and say, how can you speak on this? Well, I can speak on this because I'm in an interracial relationship. I am married, and I deal with some of the stuff that we shouldn't have to deal with, because we're all fucking human. So for you, I do want to ask you this question: the power of representation and what that means to you, and the ability to be able to inspire, the next generation to come in, because there is going to be a kid who watches you at some point and says, I want to be like that guy. I want to be like him, because he's making it and he's doing something for himself and he is representing us in our culture. I want to know from you how important that is, and what can we do to change this narrative and to make this a better space for everybody.
It means everything, man. Too Cold Scorpio was one of the first people I saw that looked like me, that moved like me, walk, talk. And to see him never make it in America. In Japan, out of the country, it's a different story. But for someone that talented, that a generational talent, it breaks my heart sometimes. Him, Ruckus, Human Tornado, Monty Brown, in some aspects, Ron Killings. It's those men that put the groundwork for a lot of talent to be showcased in the ring, for the other side of that talent to now be in WWE, to be in AEW, to be in TNA, while their partners and friends and don't really get that. They get a, hey, thanks for helping me on a post, but they're not fighting for them in those rooms. And I get it. It's, hey, I got in, I got to protect myself. But at the same time, I'm seeing other people in other cultures helping their friend get in those matches, helping their friend get in those shows. And I just wish people didn't fear so much the conversation. Being fortunate to have a few people tell me through my matches were the reason they got into wrestling. It just means I'm able to pay it forward the way Too Cold did. And seeing the talent that's coming out now, kids like Elliot Shock, kids like Blade Brown,
Mm-hmm.
kids like Noah Vell,
Mhm.
just talent, just oozing out of their bodies because they've been waiting for this. And now the platform, it's more bigger of an opportunity for them. It's happy for me to see because there was times that that wasn't an option for me. I'd say something and I'd be the only one standing up. I'm looking to my right and left. No one's behind me. So now I'm off here and now my character's being talked about because they didn't like how I stood up or how I questioned things. So it's very important to have those conversations to where my talent and what I can bring to the table is more important than your perception of me.
Facts.
And talent like me a lot.
I just said facts. I didn't mean to step on you, man. Go keep going because I appreciate you being candid and being honest about this because this is a conversation that does need to be had. And I'm not saying that that this is a rampant thing because I don't know. But what I do know is what I see, and what I see, and based off of logic and using my brain, I see that we can all, and when I say all, I mean all of independent wrestling, that we can all make a little bit of a change here, and we
Very
can
much so.
shift the narrative, and we can create a space that is equal for fucking everybody. Everybody. I think that there are so many tremendous talents out there right now that just need to be seen by the right people. And what I hope, and this can be delusional optimism all day, every day, I hope that in some form or fashion, when I'm long gone from this world, that this platform will continue to live on and we can continue to forge some of this change and continue because we're not going to be silenced. I don't. If you when you meet me in person, and I say when because we are going to work together. It's not a matter if; it is a matter of when. I'm the same guy that you've got sitting right here in front of you. You meet JB in person. JB is the same guy. This isn't an act. This is real, and that's one of the things that I admire about you. Quietly, I haven't had a chance to tell you publicly, and I'll do it here on the podcast. Is your platform and your stance and how you conduct yourself. I had an opportunity. I don't even know if you remember meeting me at Mikey's show. It was brief. It was very brief. But in that brief few minutes, because I was in and out, it left an impact. And then when I see your social media and I see you post and I see how you are, your mentality, just having this conversation with you, you're somebody I want to fuck with. And I don't mean to, sorry guys, don't mean to drop the F word like that, but I'm just being real. You're somebody that we would love to do some stuff with and will do some stuff with down the line. JB, let me circle around to you, man. What you got?
Just everything I'm hearing is just amazing, and it's clear you've had an impact on people, including Chris. Now he says, he'll talk with anyone. That's pretty much a given. So he is like that in real life. But I think it's been great that you've got this platform that you're utilizing, and that you're helping the future of wrestling, but also the fans. So I mean, I think it sounds like you have a bit of a, a connection with the fans, and getting with them and getting that energy going when you're having the matches, and probably after when you're talking to them in other events. So do you ever feel
Yeah,
like you're having those interactions where you can tell you've made a difference in their lives?
very much so. I'll bring up one specifically. I was in Elyria, Ohio for Mega Championship Wrestling. And it was after the match, and I was just BSing, talking to the crowd. And there was one man specifically who just wouldn't stop going back and forth with me. And I was like, oh, I can have fun. So I'm just talking and we're going back and forth. I'm like, you know what? I'm leaving. I go out the curtain. I'm right back. Another thing. And we're just talking. We do that 5 times. And by the time I leave a week later, his son comes to the training facility because I was up there help training. And he said, you talking trash to my dad is a reason I want to do this. And I got to a small hand help his training a little bit up there. Is a wrestler named Colt Johnson. Very talented, very hardworking, and he wants this in this business. So just to get to see him from afar now, it blows my mind to where just that small interaction with his father, and even his father, he's in the wrestling business too, helping Mega Championship Wrestling with the production. He's just as hardworking, just as loyal, just as giving. And I never would have knew that if it wasn't that moment in time. So just being in the right places to where the universe allowed me to help others, that's been a real cool thing. And seeing how I treat some of this as a comic book. We're the superheroes and the supervillains for the fans. Everyone has their favorite superhero. Everyone has a favorite supervillain. The wrestlers are the ones that have the superpowers, but it's what we do in between those powers that connect with the reader. So if I can say a scenario, if I can put myself in a moment to where they get it or they've experienced it, I know I have them. And then now I'm just feeding and being more vulnerable. And it just allows them to forget what's going on what hell we're all going through right now. So if I can replace those fears with joy, happiness, fake anger, or real hell, even real anger, if you're able to get it out to where you can go on to the next day, I've done my job. And I'll do it over and over and over again.
I I love and used to and still do to this day connecting with the crowd, and it to me it's those moments. They're the moments that make everything worth it because it damn sure ain't the paycheck. It's more about I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Like my first show, brother, I made $10 in 1999. $10. I left
Oh,
making
you got paid?
450. So and that was in '05. So
Oh man.
it's damn sure not the money. It was creating those moments. And when you're in that crowd, like, when you have them in the palm of your hand, and there's no feeling that is more gratifying than, I was a heel. So for me, it was more or less if I can get, anywhere between these 3 to 1,000 people to boo the shit out of me, I have done my job and I did it well. And when you have moments like that, that is nothing gets better than that. That is like the chef's kiss, except for fast forwarding. And now you've played a hand in someone else going into the industry off of that one interaction. It's it's gratifying, man. So tell me from your perspective when you got them and you got them. What are some of the go tos for you? Because like for me, as an example, if I didn't have a crowd, I had no problem being the chicken shit heel. I'd run. I'd play the Chris Candido role and I would run around and I'd go through the crowd and then I'd have that banana peel moment when the baby would finally get me. And we had them then. They came up for it because I would have to go out and physically interact with them. And have you had other moments like that, or when you have had them in the palm of your hand, what have been some of the things that you've utilized to get there?
Hmm. There's one specifically I'd say in Tennessee. Uh, we're salsa dancing and everyone's into it. And of course, people didn't expect me to be a salsa dancer. So they're oohing on, but they still want to boo. Eventually, Babyface is joining with me and everyone's clapping. Hey, hey. So he turns around, I just pump kick him dead in the face. And everyone, I remember specifically a mature lady, I'll say that, a little more seasoned. Uh, she damn near ran in the ring because that was her favorite wrestler. And she damn near got me in the foot. I was like, oh. You got to be quicker than that, baby. And just to see her face, she was like, "How dare you?" I was like, "Double dare."
I
It's just those
love this.
moments to where it's like it's addictive. It's really addicting,
And
and
there's no high
I
greater
can't get
than
enough of it.
there's no high greater than knowing that you've got that audience. None. And when you play it and you play it well, it can do so much, not just for yourself, but the other person that you're working with. It's the connection that you're going to make because at that point, they're going to remember you. And it's like I tell guys that we do bring in for some of our live events. Like one of my big things is being able to put you in places that you wouldn't necessarily be able to go to. Because again, we have a lot of really cool friends. Um, but I always intentionally put locker rooms together. Like I may have an affiliate from San Diego who runs a company. I may have somebody from Texas who runs a company who also wrestles. Put you guys in rooms together so that you can network yourselves. And I'll 90% of the time, if anyone's on one of my shows, that it's because I believe in you, right? Like that's why people are there. And when I have that moment to connect people that way now is even more gratifying. And knowing that when some of these guys come in, nobody's ever fucking heard of them before. But everybody in that audience and everybody that's watching know exactly who they are when they leave. I've seen it happen now 3 different times in 2 different cities. I've seen it. So I know that this thing is working and that is a big piece of what we're doing, man. And connecting is so crucial and critical into the overall picture and the overall perception because if you can connect to that crowd, man, you're gold. JV, let me come around to you, man. What you got?
No, it's all about the connecting with the fans, and you've had those runs where I'm sure you felt like you just had them in the palm of your hand, and you've kept moving forward with them. Do you have a crowd that you would say is like, you always love wrestling in front of them because you know who you can poke at, who you can go after? Is there a place right now where you know exactly what you're going to be doing with that crowd and the responses you're going to get?
Uh, I'd say anywhere in Tennessee. It's just I'm a big fan of Memphis, the style of it, and
Uh,
you wouldn't really know a lot of people that even get what I mean when I say wrestling Memphis. It's like hell, some of the kids down in Tennessee is like they get the what, and I was like Memphis. It's like I ain't gotta do all that other stuff. Come on, let's go out there and see how the crowd's feeling tonight. Here of their face because sometimes it's like I'm fortunate enough to be in the middle of a generation where I was trained old school to where I can call it or I can go move for move if need be. But a lot of kids aren't trained on how to feel in this. They're just trained how to go, how to go, how to go, how to go. And I'm not saying anything negative because hell, I was one of those kids. So being able to do those things, but know that I don't have to do those things when I don't need to do it. I can preserve it to where it matters more. Those are my moments. So it's like I can face someone that can do this, 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 this. And it's like, I'm gonna keep up with you, but it's going to make sense to where my style and I've always been a fan of going to different places because it's just testing your skill levels. It's like you can't be great wrestling the same people every weekend, month in, month out, day in, day out. It's like, yeah, it's cool if you want to take a day off from here and there if you want to know you preserve it. Even then, you can still get hurt. So it's like I'd rather go to Pennsylvania where no one knows me. I'd rather go to a Texas where maybe 2 or 3 people have heard me for my old tag team name. I want to go to Los Angeles where I did get ranked 6 for match of the year in my tag match against the Workhorsemen. it's like I want to go back to those. I want to go to Mexico to learn the style of lucha libre. That's been my biggest goal since I was 8. Wrestle in Japan, just to see where I stack up against the universe's greatest. Because I know she made them special just like she made me special. And I just want to have a special good time. So if I can go there and people remember how I made them feel, then what a move, let's do that.
You just said something that that really resonates with me, and that is the ability to feel the crowd. I back in my day when I would work with people and they all want to do A, B, C, and D, and I just no. We're going to listen to the crowd, and if it makes sense, and the crowd is calling it, we're absolutely going to do it. But I'm not going to force something that doesn't need to be there or doesn't have to be there. Yeah, psychology is big, and formulating and putting stuff together is going to make or break you every time you step through those ropes, because you can have the best fucking thing written down, and you could go over a million things that, before you walk out. But if that crowd ain't with you, that's all for nothing. And that's a big proponent, is listening and following their lead. They're going to tell you.
I feel like the quarantine helped me helped a lot with that, in a sense where the people were coming back, promotions were coming back where you were wrestling. There'd be times where there's no people in the building. They're just having a match and people are recording it or streaming it. It's very different wrestling without a crowd. It's like now there's nobody to feel, there's nobody to see. So it makes you appreciate when you come back to wrestling. That's want to give you that emotional feel and that roller coaster, because they've been waiting just as much as you have.
Facts, man. I could talk. I could talk to you for hours, brother, and I totally could. These first conversations for me, man, they're really just surface scratchers. Really and truly, it's just to kind of pick your brain a little bit, talk to you, get to know a little bit more about you. You get to know a little bit more about us, like I said at the top of the show, and hopefully, we get you back on down the line so that we can circle back around and keep up with you and keep up with what's going on. And I say that to say, because we're running right at that hour 15-ish minute mark, and I don't want to keep you all night. Let me ask you this, because as we start winding things down, I've got a couple of questions, and you take all the time you need to answer them, because this is where I say that we can help you. The power of the platform is what I call it, and manifestation, if you will. You have worked in a lot of places over the last 12 years, but where are some companies out there that you want to get your foot in the door if you could? Whether it's on the independent scene, it could be here in the States, it could be internationally. We cast a wide net, and we have a lot of friends. So tell me, from your perspective, where are some places that if you could work, you'd want to?
Hmm. I say here, House of Glory,
Okay.
in New York. They have a great production. They have great wrestling there, and the fans are so rabid for wrestling. It's like they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you if you are good or you are trash. And I want to test myself there. Um, Fourth rope wrestling. Um, I know with the way the culture is coming in now into wrestling and them having a great platform to do so, I'd love to be there to show my talents. DDT Pro in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful style of blends of seriousness, comedy, entertainment, and I've been fortunate enough to learn different styles to where I feel like my repertoire could shine out there. I'd love to go back to Los Angeles or California. I have family out there. My brother and my nieces and nephews are out there. They've never seen me wrestle live. I want to. I want them to show my cousins or my nephews who are super talented in track and football that it's in the bloodline. No offense, Roman, love you. But wrestling out in Las Vegas, I just really would like to be out in places that's testing me. I know I have to play in full of different styles and different ways to master it. So I'm willing to be a sponge.
Well, on the backside of that, what are some opponents? Who are some opponents, I should say, that you would want to test yourself against that you haven't already done so, or maybe you have and you want to run it back? Who are some of those people?
Jordan Blade, very talented individual. She's down in Richmond, Virginia. She's been in a lot of stuff, blood sport. It's been in the WWID tournament, and we've goofed off back and forth saying we want to do this. But I'd really like to test myself against someone of her caliber. Like we stated earlier, Ricochet, being one of the OGs in this, I've been fortunate enough to wrestle a good part of some of his alumni friends. So I'd love to test myself against him. I'd love to run it back against MJF. I wrestled him down in Indiana a while, long time ago. Adam Page. Now, of course, those are signed guys. These are just people I'm manifesting. Leo Rush.
Fantastic.
With his character development now.
God, buddy. Give me the Blackheart Leo Rush.
It's like I've been on shows with him. I've shared tournaments with him, but we've never had the opportunity to lock up. I want to wrestle Effie. We wrestled in a triple threat down in Florida, but I want to wrestle him by myself.
I love Effie.
There's a wrestler that helped me a long time ago. Two of them, actually, on different spectrums of life. One is Suge Dunkerton.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is Rayhan. He's down in North Carolina, in Charlotte, actually. Very talented, very good person. He helped me during the quarantine to show me that there's more to life. And he did that all with a hug.
Unreal.
So if I can pay tribute to him and show Suge my journey, I want to do that.
Those are some fantastic names that have been thrown out there for sure, and some of them could be very viable options to work out and make some things happen for. And that's what I love about these conversations when I get some of this information, man. On the backside of this, for me, this is probably one of the most important questions because there are hidden gems everywhere within the world of professional wrestling, all over the world. Unfortunately, there's only so much time in the day, and I can only watch so much, and we consume a lot. Who are some of those hidden gems that we should be watching, according to Tim?
I'd say Joe Black. He is one of my trainers. He's helped me become what I like to say is an elevator in the sense of helping other wrestlers, showing them there's more to how they were trained originally. Um, I'd say John Davis,
Mm-hmm.
a great man, a great dangerous wrestler. Um, O'Shea Edwards,
Hmm.
Trayvon Ali, Noah Vell, Elliot Shock, top shooters. There's a group called Drop a Fella Records down in North Carolina, a group full of talented individuals. Sean Cruz, a very good old school wrestler. Seymour Snot, he helped me a lot with my gimmick. He's a very good gimmick wrestler. He was trained in California, where he was trained, wrestled with John Cena, wrestled with Samoa Joe, wrestled with Christopher Daniels, wrestled with Frankie Kazarian, the Great Khali. So it's very knowledgeable, very, very knowledgeable. I'm going to say this. There's a school, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know, Firestar Pro Wrestling
Mm-hmm.
down in Greensboro, North Carolina. They have a slew of talented kids within the next 5 to 7 years are all going to be signed somewhere. LeBron Cozone has been one of those guys that's really been helping change the culture of wrestling, not just in North Carolina, but in general. Darius Lockhart, he's
Fantastic.
a wrestler and promoter for Ashe Wrestling, who I feel is an HBCU for pro wrestling. You are going to be able to be, see, and grow as a wrestler there, as a black wrestler there, with no judgment. Um, a wrestler named ATL, he's also helped train me. He's down in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Very athletic, very hard hitting man. Robin Golfin, his tag team partner. They've been wrestling for 15 years as a tag team. Austin Shadows, very demonic looking man to where every match looks like a horror film. And that's kind of interesting to do in this world of wrestling. I'm pretty sure you had him up here, Blade Brown.
Yes.
Talented man.
Yes.
That is
Talented man.
You brought
And
up
just to see him come back from his harvest, he's just been on 10 the entire time. And it's been cool to see.
you. So I I fucking love Blade Brown. I think that guy is tremendous and is a hell of a person on the backside of it. When he had his
Very much so.
tryout, this is where I always tell you when I said earlier, like just when this conversation ends, my relationship with you does not, because I'm all about building long term relationships over short term gains. When he had his tryout with the WWE, and it didn't go his way, right? Like it didn't, and I didn't know this at all. The day that I sent him the DM, just telling him, "Hey man, I'm proud of you. You went through this. You've had a journey. You've had some people help you along the way. You've had some trainers, but at the end of the day, it was your talent and your ability that got you there. And don't lose sight of that. And if no one else tells you, or no one else has told you, buddy, we are proud of you. And he DM'd me almost immediately. And he was like, you have no idea how much I needed to hear that. And a simple message, just reaching out and saying, brother, fucking good goddamn job, man. Like this is what this is all
Goes
about.
a long way.
And you never know. You don't know the power that we all have in just being kind to each other. Just a simple reach out. Hey man, you good? Everything cool? Awesome. What can I do to help you? How is there anything that we can do to help you? See, it goes a long way with people. And when you have the best intentions, like it's the most gratifying thing that you can do. And from a dude who has hit rock bottom and a dude who has went through trials and tribulations, like this is why I'm here now. You know, when you have moments like I've had, they're wake up calls. That's what I call them. And I didn't grow up and I didn't become an adult until I was 33. So I've only been adulting for a decade. 32, excuse me, 11 years. So I've been an 11-year adult. And in the time frame that I've been an adult, I have learned that we all have the power of our own voice. It's all about on us on how we use it and what we choose to do with it and how we choose to do it. I can't be more thankful for being able just to have an hour and a half with you tonight and just to talk and hear your story and hear your journey. And, you know, again, we just scratched the surface with what's going on and how you've gotten to where you've gotten to. But brother, you have had some ups and downs too. And the fact that you didn't throw a towel in and you didn't give up, you continue to persevere. You are going to be one of these guys that, you know, for your culture, in the culture, you're going to be one of these guys that people are going to look up to and look out to and say, this is somebody that I do want to be like. This is somebody that I want to model myself after, because in a world that is so easy for us to throw the towel in on, you choose not to. You choose to fight. You choose to stand up. You choose to use your voice, and you choose to do it the right way. And for that, it is commendable. And it's something that we should all look for and look towards, because we can all be better. We just have to choose to. And that's the kind of like my moral of what I'm trying to do, man. We can all choose to be better. Our platform is only going to get better as the time goes. Our relationships with people is only going to get better as the time goes, because we know it takes a lot to earn trust in a world. Professional wrestling alone, it can be very wild and it can be very crazy, and we don't want to contribute to that. We want to help that. We want to help the cause and help everybody do what we know
Very
we
much
can do.
so.
I always, JB, let me come around to you. Do you have any other last minute questions before we get ready to close things down?
No more questions other than, this has been a great experience being here talking with you, and I'm so glad I got to be here for it.
Same. Thank you.
Mr. Tim, I always like to turn it over to you, our guest. Is there anything that you want to plug? Anything you want to put out there? Anything you want to talk about that maybe we haven't stumbled into or had a conversation about thus far? Is there anything on your mind? The floor is yours, sir.
Um, First and foremost, I just want to say thank you guys for your time. I appreciate the platform and opportunity to be on. Um, but right now, the only thing I really want to plug is my Instagram account. That's the only thing I have at the moment. The Infinite Man. I'll have a podcast called Shooting the Fabe every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. It's me and my friend Mario Clicks.
Mhm.
We're just up there shooting the breeze with wrestlers, allowing them to be themselves and not really worry about politics and things like that. Um, to anyone that's going through something, just know you're not alone. Uh, we're living in a crazy time right now, but it's has nothing to do with us. Um, Love is really the only answer that's going to beat this going forward. And now that a lot of people are seeing what's happening, grace, grace for yourself first, and that'll help you give grace for other things. Um, for those that are choosing wrestling as an outlet, I salute you. I love you. And just know that things will get better. And be well.
The easiest way, guys, that you can show your support is by like, sharing, and subscribing. Tim's case, he just said it. It's the Infinite Man. It's been on the screen the entire show, right underneath him. There's no reason, if you've been here this long and you are not following, that you have not gone over and smashed that follow button. All you have to do is share his stuff. You're probably on social media anyway. So make that happen because, I mean, Tim's got some really cool things going on. I can't wait to see what transpires over the next couple of years because you're going to hit 14 and it's going to happen. And where you're going to be when that happens, right? Like that's the beautiful thing about what we're doing is to be able to sit back and watch your growth continue because you, sir, are a shining star and deserve to be one of these guys that people should be watching if they're not already doing so. I can't wait, man. This is going to be a wild little ride, but we're going to take it together, man. You've got friends here with us on our platform. And there's anything that we need to do for you or we can do for you, all you need to do is just ask, man. Because if it's within power, we're going to fucking do it. Guys, it's been a fantastic show. If you've joined us across all of our platforms, thank you so much. Tim, just so you know, man, we had about 450 strong across all the platforms that tuned in to join us tonight. And if you have not, you need to go ahead and hit that follow button. If you're not following us, why not? It's probably the easiest place to find everything independent wrestling, not only here in the States, internationally as well. We are on the air just about every day at some point in time or another with a conversation, a watch party, a spotlight show, people you should be watching. It's a fun time. And if you're in Orlando on the 25th and you want to see some really good independent wrestling, you need to come out and check us out at Chapter 4 Legends Rise. And Chapter 5 is right around the corner. Guys, for JB from No Game Unturned, for the Infinite Man, Tim, I am Chris Page, and this is where we say we will see you next time.